Good afternoon, folks. It's been a while since I've posted. I apologize for that. I was having a little bit of concerns over some of the things that Comma had been doing, but those concerns are resolved. And the biggest concern still is the installation process. I was able to successfully do an install, but it takes an hour and a half because it has to reinstall itself twice. If that's the best I can do, that's what we have to do. But gosh, unfortunately that hour and a half process does require you to SSH into the device. You can use Workbench to do that, but I really want to avoid requiring you guys to use Workbench. I'm giving myself another day to try to get something better before I get back to building. My goal is to have all of these things out to you before the December holiday season. With the exception of some of the ones that are using connectors I may not have, I don't see why that would be a problem. So, excuse me. That's what you can expect. Hopefully sooner, I can get those things out quickly, but my deadline I'm setting for myself would be a few days before Christmas. I want to get this stuff. I want to have everything shipped that I possibly can. So that's my goal. I'm not gonna give 100% commitment to that, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay, next order of business is I don't think I updated this. I was successfully able to get the OpenPilot tools working, finally. Man, I wish I had some video. I had my son run the Xbox controller, and he was just gleeful when his movement on the Xbox controller made the steering wheel turn. Unfortunately, the primary purpose of this test was to test out my AEB, automatic emergency braking code, which didn't work. But that's kind of to be expected. Things usually in the real world, code doesn't work the first time. So I did a lot of extrapolation in writing the code. I am probably going to have to bring out the pedestrian and put his life at risk again so I can get some more data. The calculating the checksum is the part I need to figure out. So there is a guy who showed up, and he said he's tried the auto emergency braking. He's tried to use it, and that it's not going to be feasible for use during normal driving. He was, trying to discourage me from pursuing it. I asked him if he could share how he calculated the checksum, and he said he had a non-disclosure agreement. He wouldn't tell me with whom. So I can see some possibilities. One being he's a representative of GM who doesn't want that system used. The other is he's telling the truth, and it really is too noisy. That was his. He said that something about it directly actuates the automatic ABS, the auto brake. No, not auto brakes. What the heck does ABS stand for? You gotta be kidding me. Well, anyway, his claim was the way that it actuates the brakes is noisy and grindy and harsh, and it may be actuates too hard. So he came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to be usable. It was very discouraging news, but I have to try it for myself. Just because I can't take some guy's word for it who's not going to share his code with me. Also, the signal, the message that is sent when auto emergency braking is active is sent at the same rate as the steering signal. It's sent at 50 hertz or every 20 milliseconds. That's 50 hertz. That means 50 times a second. If the braking that is provided by the automatic emergency braking command is too hard, I can do pulse width modulation on the signal that we're sending to the brake. So if it takes a value between 0 and 127, I have yet to find out what that value feels like, in the car. But if we discover that 1 is braking harder than we want and it's noisy or whatever, the noise I'm not going to worry about so much as the actual safety, the braking. The being able to slow the car down is the thing. If even setting it to 1 is harder than we need, then we set it to 1 for a fraction of a second, and then we leave it off for a little bit. Then we set it to 1 for a fraction of a second, and we use tiny pulses of braking to slow the car down. It's probably still going to be noisy, but it should be less jarring. And using pulse width modulation, systems take devices that are either on or off, and they turn them into variable. Like most LED dimmers, well, not most, but a lot of LED dimmers use pulse width modulation rather than actually changing the voltage. So they use the same voltage, they just make the pulses bigger or smaller to change the observed brightness. Really, it's the same brightness, but our eyes sort of merge it together. So anyway, enough about that. All hope is not lost, is what I'm trying to say with regard to auto emergency braking, and that is really kind of important for people who don't have electric vehicles, EVs. Us EV owners have L mode. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see my screen. And in L mode, the car will slow down, not completely, but So anyway, excuse me. In addition to getting AEB, the automatic emergency braking, working, that's adding friction brake capability. The next release, if you will, is going to be using the latest code, Comma's latest code, which they've just released, version 8.0. They real quick jumped to 8, and I've heard a lot of people saying good things about it. The bad things are that they have stopped supporting both the white and gray Panda. Restoring that support is, at least in the last time I looked, restoring support for the white Panda was as simple as commenting out 2 lines. Thankfully. And I don't know, hopefully it's the same with the gray Panda. Let's hope. So my port will unquestionably keep support for those. I don't want to leave anybody having to buy new hardware. I'm not like that. So good news is, so I was worried that Comma might not be okay with that. There's been, after I got banned for being too chatty a while back, I've been a little apprehensive about anything, and other people have come to me who feel that they were unfairly banned, and there's kind of this fear thing going around. And the Comma employees included, GeoHot was included in this conversation. It's in the lobby in Discord if you want to find it. They confirmed that not only are they okay with Forks restoring support for the old, see, I'm actually using it right now, the old pandas. They think that's a great use of a fork. That's a good reason for a fork to exist. And
there's a speed trap ahead.
Ruh-roh. Oh, we're fine. That's a good reason for a fork to exist, and they're totally on board with it. They just don't have the resources to expend on supporting the older hardware, so they've de-supported it. But we can bring the support back. The community through Forks is allowed and encouraged to maintain that support. So that is awesome. Also got a little bit of confirmation from the GeoHot and a couple of the people, the big important guys there, that banning of forks is only for blatant safety violations. And the way GeoHot put it, at least in this, there's a pull request or an issue, I think, that documents it. It's not, he's not, the biggest thing is if people try to disable driver monitoring, that'll get a fork banned. And messing with the safety code in the Panda in an unsafe way also will get your fork banned. But there's a little bit of flexibility, because sometimes during the process of developing new functionality, safety might have to, temporarily be altered. What I think he said was, if they see one person who's using this code that's unsafe, probably they won't ban it immediately. But if he starts to see 20 or 30 people using this unsafe fork, then it's a problem. You've got people on the roads who are not safe. So I've rambled. I apologize. The point is, at least for as long as I'm maintaining a fork, I can keep the support for the older pandas. Once my code gets upstreamed, assuming it does, I feel pretty positive that it will be. Once my code is upstreamed, all of the other forks, pretty much all of them are maintaining support for the old hardware as well. Kegman, the one we can't talk about. Goodness, that's the only ones I can really think of. So, back to business. I'm going to try to get that steering working. Because I got the steering working using OpenPilot tools, using my new code, my new Panda code, there's a real good chance that it's just something silly that was keeping the steering from working. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to get that. Well, I've got to merge their updates. There's lots of updates, but I think I can get that steering working pretty quick. And it's all downhill once I get the steering working. I just have to bring over the pedal code and there's a few other little things. So it should be good. It should be not too hard. It shouldn't take too long, and then it's gonna make your install process a heck of a lot quicker. Heck of a lot quicker. Anyway, so again, I've seen a few emails. I get so many emails, and they're not. Most of them are just junk. And you know, I go through periodically and I unsubscribe. I'm the first Schuler whose first name starts with a J to get a Gmail account. As such, I get a lot of people fat fingering the wrong email address using my email address. So I am getting all the junk mail from lots of different people, and unfortunately that means that legitimate emails very quickly disappear from the front, the top visible mails. That's an excuse, so I shouldn't be making excuses, but I'm trying to give you an explanation. I'm not intentionally ignoring people and not replying. I have a legitimate problem with my inbox right now, that I need to work on. So anyhow, I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching, as always. I want to also make sure I thank my Patreon supporters. You guys are helping to keep this project going. Without you, I don't think I could, because there are costs involved that are not covered by the product sales. That reminds me. Yeah, I'm gonna make another video about that one. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.